Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
On January 21st of 2016, three youngsters were one step away from achieving their dream of winning India's biggest marketing competition.
Hi, I'm Saurabh Jain.
I'm Shilpa Agrawal.
My name is Saurabh Dwivedi.
And by the end of that evening, they had done it.
I'm Saurabh Jain. I am an MBA student at FMS Delhi. I am from Delhi only. Did my graduation and post-graduation in Delhi itself. My name is Saurabh Dwivedi and I'm originally from Lucknow. And I'm majoring in marketing and I have a minors in finance and strategy.
I'm Shilpa Agrawal. My family settled in Kathmandu, but originally we belong to Rajasthan. At FMS, I'm doing MBA in marketing and minors in strategy.
We caught up with the winners of season 7 for a tete-a-tete and to find out what's up with them.
I wanted to work in an FMCG companies. There are not many FMCG companies that came to my graduation college. So yes, MBA was an obvious step for me. It was obviously hard because you need to study a lot. You need to get good scores to get into college like that of FMS or some of the top colleges. So yes, it does take a lot of efforts, and when you make it, you're obviously delighted by that. Pursuing an MBA degree was something that actually came to me while I was working. I'd been working for 2 years. So it is then that I thought of actually going for an MBA degree to gain a managerial perspective to my career. And FMS Delhi, because FMS Delhi has a very, very unique culture. Everything here is being managed by students. All the setup that you see around here, the infrastructure in part also is being funded and managed by students itself. And the thing about FMS is that it actually lets you do business before actually you learn about it.
When I decided I wanted to do MBA, FMS was always my first choice because my brother had this dream that he only wants to join FMS and he got into business, so I thought that I would come to FMS, at least there would be one MBA in the family from FMS, so I came to FMS.
While for some, L.I.M.E was always a distant dream, for others, it was a matter of testing their skills and abilities.
First got to know about lessons in marketing excellence by HUL in the first month of my entering FMS Delhi. So there's always this hype about all the competitions, all the corporate competitions, and obviously FMS Delhi is known as a campus which sweeps all the competitions. So this was one of the competitions that was left for us to bag, and I guess it was then that we inadvertently actually formed a target that we have to get this home.
Lessons in marketing excellence not only test the marketing acumen of these students, it is also a test of their ability to think of creative solutions to problems, putting to practice theoretical knowledge, the ability to think on your feet, and learning the dynamics of a group.
So it all started off when we had gone for internships or some internships which happened after the end of the first year. I was friends with Saurabh Jain, the other guy who was in my section, and I was friends with Shilpa as well. And we have this induction process for like 1 month or 3 weeks, wherein which we get to work with each other, and we get to work on a lot of different assignments. It was then that I'd worked with both of them separately, and I know their strengths and weaknesses. So they did not know each other and they had different opinion about each other, and when I approached both of them, they were a bit reluctant to get each other as a third partner. I convinced both of them that trust me, I know your strengths and weaknesses, and I know that we can actually work together as a team. It was then that the team was formed, and after the first round they gelled so well that they formed another team, and they went on to win Nestle Nationals as well.
I think we all have different complementary skills. Like Saurabh Jain works very hard. He's working till the last moment, and he's very lively and jolly also. Also Saurabh Dwivedi, he ideates very well. His ideas are always radical, different. It helps us think that this angle is also there. So it creates the whole team synergy that way. And me, I think I put the whole team together. as in when we are not doing well, when we are low, and when we need some pushing back. That's what I do.
On the other side, the trio from FMS Delhi talks about the Make in India challenge and the grand finale of the biggest competition they have faced till date.
Welcome to the grand finale of Lessons in Marketing Excellence.
With India having undergone
As the competition reached its final round, the trio from FMS Delhi, along with two other teams, were tasked with the biggest marketing strategy enveloping the country today, Make in India.
Oh my god. So when I first saw the caselet and the topic of the finale, I was like, this is going to take a lot of time. Because we have a course here, it's called Make in India, and although I'm not a part of it, I know the course structure that these guys have. And there's so many sectors, plethora of reports, and we had to go through all of these if we were to stand there and answer people from the panel who would be from the government, who would be eminent personalities in that sector, and we couldn't really say anything without knowing about it. So we had to know everything in and out before coming with our recommendations, and with such a short span of time, we knew that we had a tough task at hand.
So initially we decided that 2 to 3 days we would leave it entirely to the research. We would read as much material as we had. We would contact people. We would get to know their views. We didn't look at the case study questions. We didn't focus on that at all. We were only doing the background research. Then we decided that it was we should divide the questions among ourselves and focus on those questions particularly. Like I took one question, Saurabh Dwivedi took one question, Saurabh Jain took one question, and then finally when we had all our points ready, we decided to put it all in a presentation. So dividing and then coming up with one concrete presentation was a good idea for us. As you know that there are only 5 minutes and you cannot talk about everything in 5 minutes. So for 5 minutes we had to prepare this pitch, and we kept on cutting points, and when somebody has worked on something, he doesn't want to cut that point. So we used to have this discussion, yeah, we'll just cut this one point, the other point I'm not cutting. So that's something that mutual understanding also played a part, that if I also agreed that somebody has to take a back step, as in the other person's, if he thinks it's more important, we have to agree to that.
So I think one thing that L.I.M.E takes into account is that you need to be so crisp and so concrete in your way you present things, that you have to present in 5 minutes a lot of solutions. So I think this is what it teaches you, is that only provide the major things that you want to present. So when we were rehearsing, we were not able to complete our script in 5 minutes, and that was a pain point for us, that how do we complete it, how do we present our solutions which we know are good but they need to be presented in a better way in 5 minutes. So before the presentation we were we were tense and nervous, some amount of that was there, but once we presented and once the Q&A was over, we were very confident because we thought that Q&A went very well. So I think that was our so the Q&A made us a lot of confidence that yes, we can do well and we can win.
Please welcome finale veterans, FMS Delhi.
India offers second lowest production cost and second largest workforce globally, but contributes to just 1.7% of the global exports due to archaic labor laws and insufficient skilled labor.
Manufacturing is plagued with additional factors like weak MSMEs and lack of R&D. For this, we suggest easier access to credit for SMEs through HCB, Mudra Bank and CIS Online Finance Facilitation Center.
Our big idea is Join the Transformation, which suggests that India is transforming and sends an invite to explore opportunities to manufacture in India.
But the 5-minute pitch wasn't going to be their only hurdle. Armed with a volley of questions, the jury soon began to dissect their every suggestion.
My question is the what. What is your campaign idea?
It is not just a marketing campaign towards the manufacturers or the investors. It is a message that this is the Industrial Revolution Part 2. And if you want to grow with us, join us.
What is the problem you are trying to fix?
Problem that we are specifically catering to here is providing a conducive environment for the manufacturing to happen.
The perceived benefit of quality that we feel is derived from an international brand and not from an Indian brand has to go. If we have to progress and if we have to sell the product that is made in India for India.
When you talk about amending archaic labor laws, for instance, it's not something that the investor can change. It's not even something that the central government can change, because these are state subjects and each individual state government will change the labor law as they like. So who is your communication then going to address when you talk about we need to change the labor laws, we need to encourage more skills development and so on and so forth?
We want to communicate firstly to the investors outside. It's about the global investors who are going to invest in India. For that we had two things. One, awareness about Make in India. Not everyone is aware about Make in India. A large considerable population is starting getting aware. Second thing is making them invest in India. These are two different things that we handled in this promotion campaign. That promotion campaign is not for the internal communication but the external communication to the stakeholders.
The crux here is the crux here is to make the manufacturer investors realize the value add that they're giving. So the value add proposition is different for the external communication and the internal communication. For the external manufacturer investors who want to come in and invest in India or manufacture in India, we will tell them that look, we have the demographic dividend advantage. We have the advantage in terms of the cheapest and high skilled labor. The labor scaling process has started, and we will be able to reap benefits out of it, and we will be able to provide all the raw materials that you require. For the internal communication, as I talked about transformation, the transformation here, while doing the research again, we realized that what happens in the US is that the sense of actually buying a product, the core reason, more of it are borderline patriotic. It's about having to buy a product in your country. This is not there in India. In India, we talk about a Peter England or a John Clay. The reason the names are anglicized is that the mindset, the perceived benefit of quality that we feel is derived from an international brand and not from an Indian brand has to go if we have to progress and if we have to sell the product that is made in India for India. And that is why it's two-pronged.
But that's the second step, promoting to the customers. First step is changing the infrastructure. We very well know that promoting a not so good product kills the product faster. So rather build the product first and then promote it more to the consumers and to the outside stakeholders.
To answer my question now, that's exactly what I was asking you, because how do you're talking about building the infrastructure deficit. That's not something that the investor can do. So who are you communicating to? And you answered your own question saying that if you don't deliver on the promise that you hold out, then obviously your product is a dud product at the start, right?
Exactly.
The question that she put forward, for a moment it struck me whether I know the answer or not. The other questions, yes, we had some vague idea as in what we wanted to answer, but that particular question, we had no idea what the answer would be. So because of that question, I think.
One thing is that once you also prepare for the Q&A, that is one important thing. The other thing is that you discuss among your team rather than answering it directly. So these are the two things that we did, and I don't think there were many things that made a problem to us, and we were able to handle all the questions.
We probed the team on what they want to see implemented in the country through Make in India.
One particular thing that all of us are fond of, me particularly, was the logistics aggregation system. It's an online portal of sorts which will serve the logistical problems that we face in the country. So there's always this problem of freight rates that the businessmen and the people who are in the transport business, they actually encounter. So if we were to simplify that process, if we were to give the transporters as well as the businessmen their due, so as to reduce the overall freight cost through that portal, through that aggregation system, which in a way mimics the Ubers and the Olas but for a B2B system, I guess it would solve a lot of big problems across the value chain of the business. Personally, when we researched, I found out that MSME sector is lacking and is plagued by certain laws which are applicable around across the industry. However, MSMEs need to be treated at a separate foot as compared to the big industries. So I think this is one thing which I really want to see a change in. The MSME sector growing and getting resources, getting help and getting some amount of law liberations as compared to the big industries.
I think that would be something related to women, to promote, how women in rural communities, they are not given those that many employment opportunities. If there are more opportunities for them, something that they could do at home and that could be used in the campaign, I think I would like to implement that.
On the other side, the FMS Delhi team talks about their winning moment and what lies ahead for them. After a closely fought battle, it was time for the moment of truth.
And the winner of Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 7, FMS Delhi.
Apart from winning the competition from among 4,000 students, the trio from FMS Delhi also won a grand cash prize of 10 lakh rupees, and they already have plans on how best to make use of it.
I have a lot of things in mind. I will travel, I will buy gifts for my family, for my parents, for my siblings. Also I'll shop, and the rest of the money I'll decide later what I want to do.
I'm going to spend a part of it to send out gifts to my friends and my family. A part of it will go to the Government of India, obviously, and I would use the remaining money to plan a trip abroad. I would give my winning amount to my parents, and it would be up to them how much they want to give me.
So, how does it feel? Cliched question, but would love to know.
Cliched answer, I don't have any words.
You don't have any words. Did you expect it? Because, I mean, it was a very close contest, I can tell you that, with SPJ.
We were very satisfied with our performance, but then obviously we were hoping for it. I would say that we were hoping for it.
But the way the question and answers were going, were you still hopeful after that, or?
I think before the presentation we were doubtful, but afterwards we were very confident.
Awesome. Well done, guys. Well done. Congrats.
When it was announced that we actually won the competition, the mother of all the competitions, so to speak, I was blank, and that is what I answered as well. That I was actually asked for a bite. I was like, I don't have any answers right now, because I've answered all of my answers in the Q&A itself. And these other two people, Saurabh and Shilpa, they're like shouting, they're cheering, and like, yeah, something good has happened. But that feeling had not sunk in till the time I got down the stage and started meeting with my alums, and they started congratulating me. People who were really senior to me were feeling happier than I was feeling, and it is then that I actually realized that something really big has happened.
The winners of Lessons in Marketing Excellence also get to participate in Unilever's global marketing competition, Future Leaders League, along with teams participating from all over the world.
We have already started preparation for that. We have gone through the case slate. We realize that there's a lot of it that needs to be done. Why? Because it's an international stage now, and we need to understand the different demographics that the market has to offer. And so we started working on the case, and we realize that there's a certain degree of implementation that needs to be done as well, and we have less time on hand because of our impending examinations and everything. So I'd say we have to be really prepared. Why? Because the best teams from all across the world are coming, and if we are to win that as well, we have to give our best shot. In the month of April, we'll be heading to London for the L.I.M.E Global Finale, for the UFLL Global Finale. So I think it's a big high for us. Two of us are going to outside India for the first time, and winning there would be extremely important. But even not winning, but meeting people who are so diverse, who have come from their respective countries, being the winners of those countries, meeting with them, gelling with them, doing activities with them would be a great experience for us. So I think I'm really looking forward to that.
The first learning would be that learn to work with people you're not familiar with. Second would be that try to break down things. Don't jump into everything all at once, because you cannot. Third would be learn to have fun while you're working.
Having almost completed the academic course at FMS Delhi, the trio is now all geared up to spread their wings in the world and to achieve greater laurels.
As I joined the corporate, I would work a lot and work as per my interest area. Till the time the corporate entrusts me, till the time it makes me have the same high as this competition probably did. And once that high comes down and there is something else that interests me, I would probably go into that direction, maybe have my own thing going on. So let's see what happens in the next 10 years. Probably first let me enjoy the journey of corporate as it seems to be. So future plans are already in place in a way, because my college is going to get over soon, and I'll be joining a firm. I'll be planning to work there for some time to test the waters, to see how it actually pans out for me in the future, and that's about it.
But wherever I will be, I'll be doing something that I love, something that's in the creative line, and I'll take up things which I like, and if I don't like, I'll give them up.